Back with you on the ML Sports Platter, all brought to you by our great friends at CH Insurance, Stanley Law Offices, and Rosie's Corner. Stop by Rosie's all week long if you're in and around Central New York for pizza, wings, subs, and Fish Friday coming up in a few days as well. One of my favorite basketball players in Syracuse history. It all comes full circle, man. I used to go to the Dome as a kid and watch all these guys play, pester my parents to go for every single game. And I watched the High Sox. I watched this dude score 1,000,000 points on the hill. And now here we are, and he's on my show. It's Lawrence Moten, the all-time scorer in SU Hoops history. What's up, my man?
Oh, everything's good, Mike. How are you, my friend?
It's great to have you aboard. The nickname Poetry and the long socks, when did all that start?
Oh man, that started my freshman year at Syracuse. A lady named Rosemary, may she rest in peace. I never forget it like it was yesterday, Mike. So maybe the third game of the season, fourth game of the season. Dave Johnson, if you're familiar with Syracuse guys and Syracuse greats, he was a
Number
great
4.
player. Number 4, Dave Johnson. His senior year, my freshman year, he comes in the locker room before the game and he's all upset. And he's like, man, I've been here 4 years and I don't have what you have. You need to go out there and check to see what I'm talking about. So I'm like, what do you mean, Dave? What do you mean? He said, I can't tell you, just you got to see it when you get out there. So I get my ankles taped and I walk out. And as soon as I come under the tunnel and I look up, I think it was section 323 over to the far left. It had the name Lawrence, quote, Poetry in Moten. And from that day on, it honestly it gave me like an extra boost to always want to do well for the Syracuse fans, man. Before every game, I would give a peace sign to that whole section up there, and they don't even know that. At that time, as a young guy, they motivated me to play well, and I was blessed to do that.
You could score from anywhere. You were smooth. You had the finesse, but you had a physicality to you. You could create your own shot. You're the all-time leading scorer in the history of the school. I mean, do you ever just have a moment and just stop and go, wow, that you're at the top of the list, man? Like, how many times does it just when you're in a blank stare or you're eating maybe lunch by yourself or you have a moment before you go to bed and your mind wanders? Do you wander to, I'm the leading scorer at this place, this phenomenon of SU basketball? Do you do that? Do you think about that?
Well, at times that might cross my mind, and I thank God for giving me the ability to do what I did, and I thank God for having me have great teammates. At that time, I had a great group of guys who we played well together. But if they know they needed a bucket, they knew they could count on me, and I didn't want to let them down. So yeah, it's definitely a good feeling of all the great players that have went to Syracuse, and I even think of Big East also. Being the all-time leading scorer in Big East. I know I'm second, but I tell people uh, I feel like I'm still the all-time leading scorer in the Big East because that wasn't the real Big East that the new guy has.
Right.
So
Right.
it's definitely a blessing. Definitely.
Yeah. So you're obviously close with Adrian Autry. I mean, it's a family. This thing here, this logo is everything, right? When you look at it, the brand, the phenomenon, the family, the Cuse family, you guys allude to all the time. Um, what kind of a job do you think he's done this year? I remember seeing you this past summer at the TBT, and you were just really excited. I could see it in your face, and you were smiling and liked the team, and you were excited for Red. Um, what do you think now about the team, and what do you think about the job that he's done? Does something jump out to you where you've said, "Wow, I think he's in this thing for the long haul. He's got that head coach thing about him."
Well, I always knew Adrian had that. Being a former point guard, you have to be a leader in some type of aspect, and he was always that type of player. Great motivator. And he's going to try to get the best out of the guys that he has. I really feel like he's doing a great job. 18-10 right now, uh, could easily be 20-6. if you ask me. But, it's his first year. You have to crawl before you walk. The thing that we have to do as fans and people who love Syracuse is just truly give him time. Truly give him time to create his own legacy and to create his own style of coaching. I really feel like he's doing that. I'm so happy that he's going man to man because when we played a lot of man to man when I was playing at Syracuse. So, just at the end of the day, it's about him doing it his way. And we have to let him do it his way. And we have to understand that no matter what, there's going to be ups and downs. But we have to, just make sure that we support him and show him that we are here. We are here for him as a coach. This is his first year, and to be 18-10, that's not bad. And if he happened to get 20 wins, I will consider that a winning season.
Syracuse basketball great Lawrence Moten with us here on the ML Sports Platter, brought to you by CH Insurance and Stanley Law Offices. A couple more for you here, Lawrence. We're just coming off of Jim Boeheim Day, and I know how much Coach means to you. And can you kind of give my listeners and viewers, the first time you met Jim and since that time in your career and, what you've learned from him, if you want to go down the timeline, but that first moment, that first memory, because everybody has that Jim Boeheim story of the first time they meet him, right? So what was it like for you?
Well, it was, of course, being the great coach that he is and he was, you're going to be a little starstruck at the time. Me being a freshman and actually coming to a whole different arena. People need to understand when you're in high school and you're All-American in high school, it's like another step up the ladder. Now you're going to a place where everybody was All-American where they were from. So you have to take it to another level mentally. And I just remember, meeting him for the first time and him actually saying, if you can average 28 here and you just, that'll be a great thing, Lawrence. And I remember telling him, Coach, I'm just going to give it my all and everything else will take care of itself. And I had a great 4 years here at Syracuse. And like you said, being the all-time leading scorer in Syracuse history is definitely a blessing with all the great players who have come out of here. And, hey, I'm just blessed, man. I thank God every day I wake up.
So do you have a good Jim Boeheim story that comes to mind that you're allowed to tell?
Oh yeah. I got a good one. I've been telling this one for the past couple of weeks. Well, of course, Coach Boeheim would run a play. We would call a timeout. He would diagram a play, draw it up, and at the end of the break, we would say 1, 2, 3 Qs, and we would go out to the court. So 1, 2, 3 Qs, we go out to the court, and he would always say, Lawrence, come here. So I would walk to him and was like, what's up, Coach? Just get a bucket, son. I don't care how the hell you do it. Just get a bucket. So that I used to like hearing him say that. To be honest with you, that used to motivate me to want to do well, not only for him, but for the university and for the fans, man. And most of the times I did well.
Yeah, I tell you what, if you want to get a bucket, you need a bucket telling you to get it. That's a smart move because you most of the time you got those buckets. Do you remember the first time? I mean, I know you saw it on TV. You probably visited, but the first time you ran out and looked up and around and went, "Oh, baby!" Like the 30,000 plus, the blue curtain. Do you remember? I mean, what happened? Did you shit your pants? What happened?
No. I was ecstatic. Like I said, that was the first true moment. Was that time actually seeing that Lawrence Poetry and Moten sign?
Okay, it was that game.
That was. I want to say it might have been Cornell, and it was probably 25,000 people there at a Cornell game. You know what I mean? So, and that's another thing.
But Biggie's 30,000 plus is different.
Oh yes, it's
okay.
It is, but it's really not. Like honestly, I never really noticed the people while I'm out there playing, but
because you're in it.
Yeah, I'm in my zone. I'm truly in my zone, and I never really noticed the people until a bucket was made or the loud crowd actually roared. That's when I would like feel it. But actually in the heat of the moment, I'm just playing the game like I was out in my backyard, man.
Yeah. When did you first fall in love with basketball? Final question.
Yeah, maybe fourth grade. Basketball and football, I started at the same time. Football was my first love for sure.
Mm,
I don't know if you know, I was All American in football, wide receiver,
absolutely.
safety.
Yeah.
Marvin Graves, the great Syracuse quarterback, was my teammate.
He was
You
pretty good
know,
too.
oh, very good player, very good guy. And but yeah, fourth grade. I remember scoring my first bucket in elementary in the fourth grade. It was on the fast break. They threw me a long pass, and I see it like it was yesterday. And just to score that first two, I'll never forget it because it was actually elementary playoff game, and we won. And just to score that first two was just so exciting to me, and it made me feel so good because hearing all of those people cheer, that was the sound and the feeling that I wanted to hear all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I remember that like it was yesterday, fourth grade.
That's incredible. Well, you had an amazing career. I can't tell you how many memories and moments, for me as a kid. I mean, gosh, you mentioned Dave Johnson. He came to our Redmond basketball camp back at Central Square locally here, and actually Red came. I just had Adrian on about a month ago, and I showed him the photo during the summer of me, him and I in the basketball camp, and he and Jerry laughed really hard when I showed it to him, and all you guys, man. I went to the games. I was 7, 8 years old. Maybe before that, started going and watching Sherman, Derek, and Stevie Thompson, and then into you guys. And you've given us a lot of memories and moments. And the fact that now I've been in media 25 years and I have the opportunity to have you on my shows. It's really cool, man. And I love seeing you at the games, and I loved watching you play. And you're the all-time leader in scoring, and you're a class act. So I appreciate all the time here, Lawrence Moten. You're the best.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks for saying that, man. And the feelings are mutual. Like I say, I appreciate all the love Syracuse has given me and the surrounding community from here to Rochester to Buffalo, just upstate New York. They've always shown me love, and I'm here mentoring these kids at Clary Middle School and trying to teach them the right way and how to be respectable young men and women. And I got my degree in education at Syracuse, Child and Family Studies, Human Development, and I take pride in that. I tell people the same way I played the game as an All-American, I feel the same way about teaching these kids. I'm going in that same way. So I appreciate that, man.